Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Sunday! Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well this season. I got a word for you. Tap in, and I have to plug in my phone. Um, so guys, I want to respond to an email. I don't have it pulled up right now, so please bear with me. But basically, a young lady who was struggling to identify her purpose. She's in her, I think she said she's in her early 30s, and she's struggling between identifying what her purpose is. She knows certain things that she likes to do, and wanted me to kind of break down a few things. So I'm going to kind of just go off the muscle here. Since I don't have her email pulled up. Here's the thing. Okay. At the end of the day, purpose is not for you, right? God works through you, but purpose is to serve other people. So if it's not serving people, if people are not involved, then you're probably not in purpose. Or you haven't really branched that thing off yet where people are not being, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, affected by it in a great way. In a great way. See, here's the thing, right? We all have gifts and talents. We all have things that we're great at, but it doesn't mean that it's your purpose. So you can like to do something and you may be great at it, but does it mean it's your purpose? Sometimes not. Sometimes God will take and intertwine it in different seasons. So you just gotta know that that thing inside of you. When you do it, there is something inside your spirit that just fulfills your spirit. I'm not speaking about something you like to do like a hobby, right? Not like going fishing. That settles you. But this thing, it's in you. It's in you, and you have to get it out of you. You have to get it out of you. It's like it's bursting. It has to come out of you. It's so in you that you will do it for free. If you don't get a paycheck for it, you will do it every single day of your life. Because it's just something that's natural. It's innate in you. So, to make it make sense more in a logical sense. Okay, so my purpose. Okay, I have two things, right? Two things, but it kind of intertwines. God have blessed me to be able to pour into people, but typically these are people who are very broken. These are people who are going through very, very low season. So I've heard people tell me all of my life, if I'm honest, like there's something in me that makes them feel like it's not the end of the world. It makes them feel like they can have hope. It makes them feel like they matter. They're seen, right? That, wow, somebody is not going to give up on me, that type of thing. So God have always blessed me with this innate thing in me to be drawn to, like, outcast. Sometimes, a lot of the times, the people that society rejects, let it be, they could be homeless, they could be ostracized because maybe they're homosexuals, or they're just black sheeps. They just don't fit in. They just don't fit in like most chosen people. You just don't fit in with the average person. So, and not only that, right? Not only that, everybody as a whole. But typically I'm more drawn to people who are struggling in certain areas. I would do that 24 hours a day if I could. There's times where I do it so much that I get depleted, being the introvert that I am, being the empath that I am. I get depleted, and then I have to go cut everything off and get my spirit filled back up, and then I can do it all over again. God had to really teach me how to separate myself from knowing when I'm depleted and realizing that you have to take a break. This is a lot of things that religion teach people too. Religion will tell people to pour and pour and pour and pour. I mean, you're crawling somewhere. But religion will say, just keep pouring. Just keep pouring. You're somewhere having a nervous breakdown. Keep pouring. Keep pouring. No, you got to know. Your spirit will always alert you when it's empty. You have to pay attention to that. So you got to get your spirit filled back up. Whatever that way is for you, right? You got to get your spirit filled back up so you can be a blessing to other people. And other people can catch the overflow once you get filled again. All right, so that's one thing. Another purpose of mine is I'm a giver, right? I'm a giver in general. So a very, very, very long time ago, I naturally just stop in the middle of the street. If God pinged somebody in my spirit, right? For example, there was a lady who was on the side of the road selling those hand woven baskets that they make like out of I think it's palm trees. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, so it's very common, right? But I remember I pulled on the side of the road. It was hot. It was hot that day, and there were nobody there. She didn't have any customers, but she was just really trying to make $1. So I pulled on the side of the road, and then I blessed her. And she looked at me and she just said, there is no way in the world you could have came on your own, because what you just gave me, this is not a penny off, exactly what I needed before. I think it was some type of bill or something like that. I can't remember. But that moment, for her to see God through me, because who am I? I don't know how much her bill is, right? So she knew that God had to send me. So if it's purpose, the people have to see God in it one way or another, right? God is in it one way or another. And ever since that day, long time ago, I said, God, this is what I want to do. I just want to be an angel in disguise. I just want to bless people who you want me to bless, in the sense of these people know that only you could have sent me, right? Not me. I'm an empath, so I had to learn how to separate my emotions versus what God needs for purpose, because it's a difference now. Because as an empath, honey, you want to save everybody, right? And it just can't work that way, because you be trying to save people who God ain't even trying to save, who just keep making their head hard. You be trying to save people, honey, who worship the devil. So God had to really teach me, as he grew me, to recognize when I'm moving from emotions versus moving in spirit. So I said, God, this is what I want to do. I just want to ride around all day long and just bless people who is in dire need, but they know it's from you. It fulfills me. I said that. I said, God, if you bless me with overflow, I will do this for the rest of my life. And he did. He did. When you ask God to bless you, God will bless you if it is in alignment with his will. However, God will watch you like a hawk. God will teach you so much discipline that you know when not to move and you know when to move. You know who God needs to bless, and you know when it's your own empathy. So you see, people are blessed, but they see God, because I only move when God tells me to move. So giving is actually a gift. It's a purpose. giving, serving. I think that kind of ties in to some degree. But I've been in healthcare for a long time. It's all I know. It's all I know. And I do it so good that people come looking for me. But is it my purpose? Or am I just skilled in it because it's something that my mother taught me and my sister very, very young, and we were just kind of conditioned. But really, is it a purpose? Because, I mean, you have millions of people in the healthcare field, but how many people are coming to look for them? But is it my purpose? Or do I just do it well because I was conditioned to do it? And I just do it well because it's like in my family line. If you take away the way God uses me, my purpose, by pouring into, remember, pouring into, uplifting, right? Said that earlier, right? If you take away that part of my career, if you take away the family members who I had to literally pour into during the most difficult times, if you take away the times that God used me as a vessel to be able to discern what one of my patients needed to say when they were now nonverbal to their loved ones on their dying bed. If you take, I can go on and on, read my book if you want to really get more details into that, right? Because my book is really detailed about my career. But if you take away that part of it and you just leave it at healthcare, which probably, I won't say most, but a lot of people are just there for the paycheck and there to do a job, right? If you take away the purpose of it all, in the pouring into, etc., it's definitely not my purpose, because I'm just there to do a job and get a paycheck. So God actually intertwined my purpose within my career as well. So purpose typically, well, in my opinion, all caps opinion, it always stays the same, but your calling changes. Meaning, for example, okay, my purpose is pouring into people, uplifting people, right? Giving people hope, blessing people that God tells me to bless, right? Okay, that's the core. In certain seasons, he may use it in my career. Other seasons, it may not be used in my career at all. My business may be very slow. But then he's using me with random people on the side of the road, like Mr. Steve, for example, right? Paying 6, 7, 8 months for a hotel, right? Only God been up in that. And that's just one example out of, again, Mr. Steve just loved to be, he just loves to be on YouTube, right? So that's why you see him on there, but it's way more than him. Way more than him. Where now I'm not in the season where it's people on the street. I'm now in the season where he has me pouring into people who are more personal in my life. So you see, the point is, it stays the same, but it branches off in different seasons. So your purpose stays the same, but your calling changes, because your purpose remains the same, but you're called to different things in different seasons. So, for example, if I'm a giver in one season, okay, God may just have me blessing random people where he points out on the side of the road, like, hey, you see this person here? Go say this and go give them this, right? And that may last for a season. In the next season, I need you to plant seeds strictly in certain ministries. Then in the next season, it may be, I need you to bless a certain family, right? In this season, it may be. So it keeps branching off. I love, absolutely love arts and crafts. Listen, like I said, I'm way more reserved and introverted than people believe, but I'm a geek. Like, I will sit and do arts and crafts. I make a lot of my own clothes, right? I don't even have to keep buying clothes. What I do, I take and keep reinventing them. I'm adding certain things. I'm taking certain things to it, taking certain things off of it. That's why I have so much clothes, right? Because I'm not throwing anything away. I'm just going to reinvent certain things. I mean, love it. I can sit and paint and do arts and craft all day non-stop. Is it my purpose? No, because nobody's getting blessed. I don't even like people like that. Meaning, if I'm not, I love people, but not just in general to be walking around dealing with them with arts and crafts. No, I love dealing with people when it comes down to my purpose and my calling. But with arts and craft, that's something that I can sit and do, and it just clears my mind, and I can concentrate on it. And I love to see the work that I put in, and then how it all comes together. But is that my purpose? No, I'm just great at it. God just gave me a talent in that area, but that's not my purpose. Could it be my purpose? Not for me, because I know what my purpose is. But I'm sure he can take that in like if somebody else is really into arts and craft, right? Just say somebody else. If God is calling you to, let's just say, for example, assisted living, foster homes, things like that, where your arts and craft, like he may say, okay, go to this assisted living, this nursing home, right, every Saturday morning. And when you get there and you're taking your arts and your craft, you're sitting down and you're actually doing arts and craft with these residents. Some of these people don't have no family, right? Some of these people's family have just dropped them off, abandoned them, and never look back. Ask me how I know, right? Abandoned them, never look back, not even on holidays. Ask me how I know. And for you to be the face that come in here every Saturday, and they're bored out their mind, right? And you're taking these arts and crafts, and you're really involved with them, and they're getting so much joy out of this thing, and they're all really happy about these arts and craft, and they just feel the love of God. Like, wow, my own family don't even care, but you're here. You're a stranger, and you're here faithfully every Saturday with us with your arts and your craft. That's your purpose, boo. You have zillions of people in the world. How many people is going to take the time? You're not getting paid for that. God just told you to go. And when you go, you get fulfilled. You get fulfilled by seeing how much joy that they get out of you being there. They see God through you. Because they know ain't no average person going to do that. God had to send you. Who about to sit here and play arts and craft for free on a Saturday when I can really be sleeping in? So ultimately, you have purpose. You have talent. You have your careers, things that you're great at just because you've done it a long time. But can they see God in it? Is God being glorified in it? If God is not being glorified in it, if they can only see you, just you, that's not purpose, honey, because you ain't that cute, boo. So my good sis, I've always known, I couldn't articulate it as purpose, but I've always known what my purpose was, because I felt it very early on, probably since like first grade, second grade. But I know that's not everybody's story. Ask God. Literally. Ask God. God, what is my purpose? And a lot of times too, you won't really be able to identify your purpose until you really know who you are. See, here's another thing, because like me personally, maybe I've always known because I've always just been my old crazy unique self with no apologies since I can ever remember, right? I've always been the weirdo. I've always been the different one, and fine with it. I've always marched to be in my own drum since I can ever remember. So maybe my purpose came to me very early because I always know who I was, and I was determined not to change based on, I guess, the masses. Child, they lost. I'm tapped in. So if something have changed you, right? A bad marriage, trauma, if something have changed you and you're not who you are at your core, you can't discover purpose that way. Purpose can't even find you because you can't even find yourself. God, I just left dinner, so I'm tripping right now. Purpose can't even find you because you can't find yourself. You got to make sure you get back to the core of you, your true, authentic self. When you know who you are, then you know why God created you. You know what fits into your life. This is why a lot of people are struggling with the type of man or person who fits into their life. Honey, when you know who you are and you know your purpose, you will turn down 100 men per day. Ask me how I know. Because you know who fits into your life. The last thing you would want is just a random man, just to see you got a man for what? How's he fitting into your life and your purpose and vice versa? Make it make sense. You talking about the BET Awards, sir. Sir, I ain't got time for that nonsense. Sir, I gotta go, guys. You guys have a great one. It's your girl.